What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy day ending in Y. We are looking at section 1.3, which is 5-number summaries. Okay, so a 5-number summary is over here on the left side. It's the vocabulary you need to know. Okay, it's min, first quartile, median, third quartile, max values of a data set. So we're going to take the data sets that we've had and take them from a whole bunch of numbers down to 5, and this will help us get a feel for what the data is actually like, whether or not we have an outlier that's easily visible, and so forth. Okay, so we've got the definitions for median or for the first quartile and third quartile over there, as well as a box plot, which is what is a graph that we're going to make as well. So make sure you get that information copied down into your notebook before we move on to the examples, because you will need to, and you're expected to know what those words mean and how they apply. So we're going to look here at example 1. So this is the same data that we used the other day. So we're going to just create a 5-number summary from this. And so we know the 5-number summary has a min, a first quartile, which I'll just label as first, a median, a third quartile, and a max. So we have already dealt with 3 of these 5 numbers in previous lessons. All right, we know what the min is. In this case, the min is 21. It's the smallest number of our data set over here. We have them lined up from least to greatest. Our max, we know, is 32, the biggest number. And then our median is 25, because it shows up right in the middle of our data set when we were lining it up from least to greatest. So this gives us 25 as our min, median, and max. So those 3 we already know. Now we don't know what the first quartile and third quartile are. Okay, so what happens here is in this data set we've got 21, 24, 24, 25, 30, 31, and 32. Okay, so we have those numbers here. That is our data set. Oops. Okay, so when we're looking at and we're looking at the first quartile, third quartile, what we do is we take that median value that we found and we remove it from our data set. Okay, so this median is now gone. Okay, so it is not there. So now we have split our data into 2 halves. I now have these 3 numbers here and then these 3 numbers here. Okay, so if we remember from our definition, the first quartile is the median of the first half. Well, here is our first half of our data. The median of that data here is 24. So my first quartile is 24. I have a second set of data points here. This is my second half. The median of the second half is this middle number here, which is 31. So we have our 5 numbers here. And then the last aspect that we have to this problem is what's called a box plot. And in a box plot, we plot the 5 numbers that we see here on a number line. So here's my relatively straight, not really straight line. Okay, so I put in 21, we've got 24, right next to it's 25, and then we've got 31 and 32. So I have these numbers sitting here, I have these drawn out. So now a min and a max are represented by dots. Okay, so I put a dot at the min and a dot at the max. Okay, all these other boxes, or all these other things, are related by vertical lines. So now I've got a vertical line at 24, a vertical line at 25, a vertical line at 23, and I connect that. That makes my little box, and we connect those by drawing little lines there. This is our box plot right there. Okay, what this does is we're able to see, okay, where possibly could more of the information be shown, where could, if it's a smaller box here, That means the median is closer there, so there's probably more data points down to this area rather than over here. Okay, so that's example 1. We're going to take a look at a different example here. Same example 2 that we had the other day. Okay, so now we've got more numbers. So I want to try and establish what my min, first, median, third, and max are. Okay, so these numbers are already aligned in greatest to least, or least to greatest order, so I know my min is 7, my max 75. Okay, so when we have these numbers, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have those even amount of numbers here, so I know that my median is going to be between 24 and 25, so that was 24.5. This is the same example there that we did the other day. That's why I'm going through this part a little bit quicker. So now what we've got is now I'm looking for the first and third. Okay, but do you notice that this 24.5 was the average of these two values, right? So what we have here, okay, is instead of crossing out a number, right, when I write my first half of numbers, my first half is 7, 10, 14, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, this is my first half of numbers. My second half is 25, 28, 31, 33, 39, and 75. Okay, so I don't get rid of any numbers. What I did was with this median, since the median falls in between those two, that's the natural split, so we don't have to take anything out. All right, so now I'm looking for the first quartile, which would be the median of these 6 numbers here. So that would be in between these two numbers. Okay, so 14 plus 22 gives us an answer of 36. That divided by 2 gives us 18. And then we're looking at the median between these two numbers here. So 31 plus 33, that's 64. Divided that by 2 gives us 32. Okay, so then we have our 5 number summary here, and we create our box plot. I've got 7, 18, here is 24.5, over here is 32, and then 75. Okay, when we make a box plot, you don't have to put in all the numbers, just try and space them out as best as you possibly can. And then, so we've got our box plot that looks like this. And here is your example problem. Please make sure you follow all the directions, create a 5-number summary, and create a box plot for this these data points. If you have any other questions, make sure you are asking those and getting those taken care of. Otherwise, have a great day.